Everybody has been talking about friends. One friend there, one friend there. You need people that have vibed into your vibe and see your vision before you even knew you have the vision. When people don't vibe into your vibe, are you convicted enough to go at it yourself?
Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Connect, the platform where we talk about real life issues, always taking back to our guiding principle. On this platform, we're very intentional on becoming the best version of ourselves. So we want you to join us because we encourage learning, unlearning, and relearning. It's a complete no critic zone. So my guests, I beg you, please not criticize someone else's opinion. It doesn't matter if it does not align with yours. Just give us your opinion without criticizing the other person's opinion.
My father disowned me for first post-UME said, I go somewhere. My pastor be the son children. They're born where?
I won't talk about.
My papa disowned me 100 level into 200. I disowned my papa 300 level into 400. It's serve. By the time NYC they come, we balance again. But why did my dad no agree look my face for 100 into 200? I had entered university with English and literature. I went in for law. First post-UME came out. And then, I picked Uniben. I picked a school he didn't want. He wanted me closer. And then, there was an opportunity to switch to law. By then, I don't want John Grisham, Rainmaker. That was the hype that made me want to be a lawyer. Sidney Sheldon and all of them in between. I don't want it. I like the novel. I don't want the drama of thoughts and jurisprudence. So my pastor said, if you try them, I will not pay your shit. And I try them. And then I was looking and waiting. My papa no pay my shit. And I was complaining to my roommates for or two. Yeah. Babe, my father. I complained. They said, you know what your father wants? Do it. One of them came to me and said, are you not tired? And that's why everybody has been talking about friends. One friend there, one friend there. You need people that have vibed into your vibe and see your vision before you even knew you have the vision. So my girl tells me,
hold on. You need people that have vibed into your vibe. Who that's in?
Yes.
Oh, Rama. So my friend Fumi told me, Omo, are you not tired of talking? You think all of us, you think our own pure. When she played me their own tape and what she and her sisters were pulling together, they were doing 2 degrees at the time. One during the week, Uniben. Another one in IC, not the one that they chase people from America, the one that they do independent education. And she was still doing business. Wow. She was working for Guinness. Babe put me inside Guinness work. I started Serbia. We pushed Smen on Fire when Smen on first come. We pushed Saxon Brown first come. My father was waiting. Baba, I begin to send my hostel accommodation. They stay for better accommodation for school. So when people don't vibe into your vibe, are you convicted enough to go at it yourself? Because you must go at it at certain times yourself. You must feel like you're in the wilderness at times yourself. You have to get it before others get it. And you can't start yabbing them, it's not the dream is coming, that's why. No. Nobody has resource to be wasting for somebody that's not convicted enough in their conviction. Nobody can believe you more than you can believe in your own self. So I will say this to close my own talk for this one. Purpose is necessary. Money is necessary. You can't give more of yourself than you can because you spend years trying to get it back. You listen to your family members. You listen to pressure. The family needs a more secure career, engineering. You know many of my friends and colleagues that did another career and now that they come back to what they really want.
I was even going to go into that. Like, there are times where you just choose at a time in your life, you say, you know what, let me do this now and pay the bills. And then later I'll go, like, you started farming later, right?
That's exactly what I was saying.
Go ahead.
Circumstances and reality drives you towards what you should be doing at the point in time. Everybody's story is not the same. So when you are faced with certain choices, pick the choices that fits you. I always tell my friend, listen not to everybody around you. Listen to that voice that is inside you, because I think that's the only voice that can guide you towards your purpose. That everybody, some people or most people say, follow your purpose. In my head, I'm like, what purpose?
What purpose?
What are you listening to? Okay, my purpose was to probably work in the top oil and gas firm.
You worked in oil and gas now. Sorry.
But that's not purpose, Sha.
That is not purpose.
But that's not purpose. Many of us get caught up in the branches.
Because you have ACCA certified, right?
Regardless of all of that.
So were you doing all of that just for the money?
It's all for the money.
Wow.
Because at this point,
do you know how expensive to do ACCA? I tried ACCA 2 times. I know it's how they talk. Now you do.
When you fail, they pay your money back.
when I
only
said
see me and get in my room.
because in my head I'm like,
You only see me and in my room cold, 16 degrees. That's only
Horsepower.
horsepower, 2 horsepower, 2.
But interesting, go ahead.
But then again, I'm like, when you see purpose, some like you came out, you knew that's what you wanted, and I'm sure that's things that's in your head. But when you attain that point, what next?
Right.
That's why I say don't be purpose.
So what next?
How about
You have to define what purpose
together?
is.
So
You have to define. Sorry.
Yeah.
You have to define what purpose is. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
You
fine.
if you not
Because
define them, the
what-
things
what
when you the
purpose
branch
to you?
enter.
You're just entering many things, and it's okay.
But that's not purpose. It's the vehicle. Those are the vehicles.
Okay, Edgar, let me hear you. Let me hear you.
So this is how I see it. Again,
Right.
we all know that human wants are insatiable. However, I believe that it is okay to define the desire that you want and the actual full stop of your life, as hard as it might be, because we know that the human mind would always dream and the human mind will always think of beautiful
True.
things.
Yeah.
But it is okay to tell yourself, this is what I want to do. Anything that comes after this is an extra
Just
blessing.
to add to what you're saying, I think you can have things you want to do in a season. And then the next season, you can have something else you want to do.
Yes, so-
and
so-
that can be purpose in that season. You know
Alright.
what I mean? Like,
Okay, so-
we cannot... Go ahead.
Every purpose has like different objectives.
Right.
So when you say you want to do things, you can talk about the objectives. But
Right.
your purpose will still be the same.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, in life, that's why I say in Nigeria, because things change. In Nigeria, let me give you a good example. All right. There was I can't remember the exact company, but the company had in mind that they wanted to create a gaming software, and the idea was that people they loved to game, and while they were doing that, they were building something that was the
Right.
goal for the dream of
Right.
the company. But they
Right.
realized that what most people used their software for was chatting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So-
Instead of
I know where you're
gaming.
going.
Yes.
I know where you're
So
going.
they looked at it at one and said, you know what, this thing that we're always just building. Instead of
We should
building
tilt
this,
towards
let's
what
just
people actually
build
accept
into
it.
what people are
Right.
doing. And then they changed, and now they're a unicorn company, company as well. So my thought is this: I like to think things backwards. That's how I've always thought about my life.
Okay.
This is what I want to do. Any other thing that happens to me outside this is a plus. Is big, is huge. Love it. But until I do this, I am focused on that.
Interesting.
All right. So that's how I do it. So I look at what I want to achieve in life and I begin to plan my life backwards. Now, maybe, of course, life has been faithful.
I like this calculation.
Yes.
Because you have to see front.
Yes.
On some level, you have to sense it. So
Facts.
if you don't sense it, you put yourself into where people they do things that they get easily. Like in school during the election period,
Yeah.
one of the schools I was in,
Yeah.
they get opportunity for us to craze. They drop dollars for some reason. I not collect that dollars. Not because I get sense. No, I dey read novel, and I noticed that when you see the trajectory of the people that are in power and they want to do stuff, maybe the person has good intention. Somebody don't bring one story and just bring it. Oh, see the corruption. And for reason, I always said that I won't put my hand in things that if the story comes to light, I won't be able to defend my full chest.
Right.
So if you don't put that kind of boundary for yourself, when you become the adult that you are aiming to be,
yeah.
you will not have stops to guide you. Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so,
Yeah, this is
so
how let me-
I like how this conversation is going, really, because it's really eye-opening, really, so people can understand sometimes the struggles that we go through or people go through. Because some people think that because you have it all together, I don't know, everybody went through the struggle at
Yes.
some point. Even the ones that have all the money, at some point, it wasn't about the money; it was about what they wanted.
They are still
to
going
do.
through the struggle. we
Exactly.
keep talking like the struggle
No,
has
it's not
finished.
over.
I
I'm
lose
just
that
saying-
continue.
Of course, it continues. Today we're doing this. Tomorrow it could be something else. Like
Yes.
I said to you, when I started Wisdom, okay, it was one of the shows. When I started Wisdom Connect, it was supposed to be a what's called small gathering of people coming together, share food,
Hey,
share
guys.
ideas, blah blah blah. And then I couldn't have people together in person. A friend of mine said to me, "Why don't you do it online?" Then it started online. I used to have Zoom conversations
dope.
and all of that. And today we're doing a podcast. Tomorrow I'm telling you, I remember speaking to Abraham and the team, and I was like, the things that comes to mind for this platform is it keeps going. I said sometimes per season. This happens right now. The next season it moves. It keeps unfolding like an onion, right? It keeps unfolding one step at a time. Yes, go ahead.
So again, purpose is static, and every other thing changes. What you wanted was community,
Right.
connection.
Right.
So if you look across board for your career path, if you are about that, check. the onions has been unveiling has been bigger communities, bigger platforms, bigger spaces to, or larger spaces to connect. That's why I was using the Glover example, the Isari example. Most of us, we are not lost. We really are not. We've just not aligned. And usually, if you get the formula on listening to knowing what your purpose or your flow should be per season, if you get it early, that's why some people seem like they have a cheat code. Not be cheat code. They just know how to manage their anxieties, listen to the voices around them, sip it, listen to their inner spirit, listen to the God purpose in them, and move. So if you ask me, if I'm taking this away, because man, not like that, the last thing I want to, because I got to run. If you have to take anything away, is that, guy, solve the problem now. The earlier you solve the problem of knowing yourself, as Socrates said, man, know thyself, Abi. Know yourself. Have an understanding that you are not living life only for yourself. So how can you handle your own business, whether you're a person that's married, whether you're a mom? Because we've not talked about how people, a lot of my girlfriends, their purpose change when they become a mom.
Before you go.
They're lost.
You say, this conversation you're saying about knowing themselves, knowing thyself. How do you know thyself? And I'll ask you, I'll give you context. Sometimes you think, oh, okay, what am I really good at? Like for you, maybe it was early enough for you to have figured out, you know what, I wanted to do theater art because in entertainment and being creative and all of that. Like it was something that led you to doing what you're doing right now.
But I don't know anything. I still they work for fresh work.
But at some point, what led you to choosing that option? Because it's not enough to be good at something.
I got paid for it.
Okay.
The minute someone said, take. My first job was a drummer in a church, Anointed Church in Warri. 500 naira. They don't pay me. I don't call your church revival festival. Everything. Female drummer for Warri. When can they sing? Hey. Everything balanced now. As they give me that 500 naira, up until when I went to university, up until when I went to NYSC, I bought a talking drum, taught myself that, and I was playing it in inquiry camp. So for me, I feel like the minute you have an inkling for something, have curiosity. A lot of us have stopped being curious. The minute you are a mother or a father, you still have the right to be curious. You still have the right to solve problems, because the truth is purpose solves problems. Problems of disunity, for instance. You connect with people, you make them sing. I was talking to you before we came on, and I was talking about I have never met you in real time to converse, but I was always connecting to what you did because I felt like there were people that you were reaching out to. Not everybody likes whoa comedy. People actually like people that sit down, think, and are subtle with the way they do their delivery. And if you don't solve that problem, how would I know that there's somebody that does it? So if your purpose is not solving a problem, Baba, you know, it's not just a chop.
I totally agree with you, because I think Dr. Miles, one of my greatest mentors, I say it all the time, is yes.
I meet him, I give him. I do spoken words. I meet him.
I never met him.
I give him small thing. The guy touched my head. He suits me,
I make his head. Just the oil. No one come off.
Oh, they call my man. I'm my man.
Yeah. So Dr. Miles would say like when something that you need to know when you have to solve a problem, like, for you to be successful, whatever, there's always a problem for you to solve. There's always something, you know. It's not just enough to be good at something. There's something you're solving. So what is that thing you're solving? So that will also align you. Apart from the fact that things that come easily to you are the things that you can say, okay, no, this thing is easy to you. There's a reason why it's easy to you. There's a reason why you can do it more than another. I was saying last episode where we're talking about people that can talk. It's easy for you to talk. There are people that cannot talk. It's not as if they don't want to talk. It's just that's not their strength. But God gives you talking because it's a gift, and that gift you can use it to achieve a purpose. Now, in what direction you want to achieve it is a different conversation entirely. You know what I mean? But yes, it's been an amazing conversation. I know Swole has to go, so we'll let Swole go at this time, and then we'll continue our conversation. I'm not happy that you have to go, but Abraham is guys, I know you love the conversation. You like the way it's going. I do too. So, but please, before we go ahead, click on the subscription button just right there, okay? And also put on your notification bell so that you can get the notification every time we post a video. Like and also comment. Now let's go back to the conversation. Okay, guys, welcome back to Wisdom Connect. Swole had to leave us sad, but she has to go for it's the UPL season, and of course Super Sports is calling and she has to answer. So guys, I have my guys in the studio, of course. I have Edgar and I have Paul. So we'll continue the conversation, right? You know, we've been saying so many things, and I've just been asking myself, like, what's the hardest challenge you've faced with the path that you chose? Like, what would you say was the most challenging thing for you?
Well, for me, I had to leave an oil and gas company for...
Wait, tell us about this oil and gas company, because what we hear Edgar. When you're working oil and gas, you have money, and you're an accountant, chartered accountant for that matter. So tell us about that.
I don't know why you put me on the spot, but it's an upstream company. So an upstream
Are you people listening?
company. I was on contract before it started. I was on contract there. However, contract too is sweet.
Right.
Especially when you've not had the experience of the full staff and you came in from like a young person into the contracted role. So your salary is probably what you're collecting from bank managers are collecting then. So you're good. But then again, staying there for 3 years, that is probably you're going to be there for as long as you want to be. But that's it. That's the highest you go. And staying there for 3 years, and I'm seeing the full staffs doing what they are doing. You're like a second-class citizen.
Ouch.
Yeah.
In your own town.
Your own country. Yes. That is how. That's what brings me to the fear of traveling in Japan, because in my head, like I know how I felt there, being a second person.
Was it just you feeling that way, or was that the norm in the company? Was it that?
So I don't want to say that's the norm in the company.
Okay.
I just say that is how I'm feeling. I don't know how
right.
how they wanted to treat me. I don't know the intention.
So why was it challenging? Is it because of expectations outside of, were people expecting so much from you, or was it the expectations you put on yourself?
I think the expectations I put on myself. I really care less. I'm usually nonchalant about what people say about me, and what they think of, or what they expect of me. Okay. Because I'll keep on saying, I tell anybody that likes to hear, or wants to hear, or is trying to make me feel bad, like, hey, you're not feeding me, so please fuck off. So
Ouch.
It's sorry, catch that.
Okay.
But for me, it's how I felt. Okay. If I feel something strongly, I go for it. If I don't feel it, if your conviction is good for you, no problem. But for me, if I feel the way I feel, I go for it.
So you're saying the challenge was the pay? Because we're asking about the challenging.
It was not just the pay. So the part of I had to choose staying there with the pay, good pay at that point in time.
Right.
And going for another job as a full staff, but it was like half
of the pay.
So I taking a pay cut.
So you chose being a full staff over a contract staff regardless of the pay.
Regardless of the pay. And so for me
that's new.
For me that was the most challenging part of it for me.
Right. So what would you say is the most challenging part for you in the career path that you've chosen?
Yeah, I think the most challenging is deciding whether I should go back to a 9-to-5 life, or just sticking with my own guns and believing that I can be successful on my own.
Right.
I have read books where they tell you, or you need to just do your own thing.
Just bring 1,000,
yes.
make 10,000.
No, not even those kind of books. I have read books that will tell you, you can actually, if you want to be wealthy, start your own business. Do not work for someone else. And what had happened was 2020, I was already famous on social media. I had over 27,000 followers in one day.
Whoa!
And
one
in
day,
one day,
bro.
I can remember I was jumping on my bed with a friend of mine. I was just refreshing. It was entering 27,000 people.
What did you put out?
So what had happened was I had done at the time, some days before that day, I started doing like phone pranks. I would just call people on the phone and prank them. And on that particular post, Big Brother was around the corner. So I'd pranked a lady that I was Big Brother. Ooh. All right, so I was like...
Try that for me.
This is Big Brother.
Damn. It sounds like Big Brother.
Edgar. So I did a prank call like that, and then it just went viral. So people were saying, oh, this guy is Big Brother. He's not Big Brother. That whole engagement. No, I'm not. I am small. I'm his small brother. I'm his younger brother. But what happened was just 2020, I got famous. 2021, I was affected with the fame because I couldn't really manage and understand it. I started wondering why I didn't get 27,000 followers the next day. I started wondering why the comments were saying, "No, guy, apart from this, your voice, what else can you give us?"
Ouch.
I started seeing things. And at one point, I just told myself, Edgar, maybe you should have just get a 9-to-5 that can just secure your monthly income. Because what happened was, with the kind of job I was doing, there were months where good money would just come in, gigs would just come in. And then there were months where, bro, and the saddest feeling you can get as a creative is when people feel they cannot pay you, not knowing you really need the money. So you meet people and they'll be like, oh, we didn't call you for that voiceover gig because we know we don't pay you. I'm like, bro, I'm broke. I need that money. Call me. And they say, no, we know we pay you now. You big pass. I'm like, big pass, you guy. So I took the decision of actually going back to the 9 to 5, which I feel like I shouldn't. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just remained in that. And I think it's just the fear. The fear of not being successful, the fear of failing sometimes would push you into taking the wrong decision.
Right.
So for me, I think I should have just remained in that. I should have just continued in that, level, hoping that, because my dad has always been there to support, but for some reason, I didn't just want to depend on him.
Of course, of course.
So I went to take a 9 to 5. And after about a year doing the 9 to 5, my CEO, at the time, I was working for a digital marketing agency. He just called me and said, Edgar, we love you. We really love what you're doing, but I don't think you should be here.
Wow.
Now, I wasn't doing poorly. Like, as a matter of fact, I was in the marketing team. I was leading the team at the time, and I was bringing about, not even joking, 200 or 300% increase.
Wow.
But when we just sit down and talk, and he would tell me, oh, Edgar, what are your passions? What are the things you love? I wouldn't say anything about the company. Because it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
I would do your job. I would get you a result, but I am just here because I need money. All right. I want to just be very sure that every month something good comes in. And again, that sometimes is the slavery of the mind.
What you just said just reminded me of what Swore said before she left about the fact that the community you have around you, like that man, that CEO, he looked beyond him as a company and what he wanted. He wasn't selfish. You know how sometimes some bosses can be selfish. They just want you for, okay, as long as you're helping me achieve my aim in this business. But he was like, you know what? You are beyond that, Edgar.
I always believe that every human being has a value to offer.
True.
And if you do not use your value to raise or ignite your own life, someone else will use your value for themselves.
True.
So it was just a case of I was willing, because at that point, what was just in my head was I just wanted good money. And there were pressure from my parents. My mom will call me to say, oh, Edgar, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you eating? Are you well? What are you doing now? My sister traveled abroad. My elder sister traveled, left the country. She jackpot. My younger brother was going to jackpot. He was just saying, Edgar, once you jackpot, I would go. So my mom asked me, Edgar, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
The money was there. My parents were willing to sponsor everything. I just said no. She thought I was cursed. She didn't thought I was cursed. She said, Edgar, you're not paying a dime. You're not doing anything. We'll pay. Just agree. I said no. We had a general family meeting. And she was like, Edgar, when your dad brings it up, tell him yes. Tell him you're traveling out of the country. Tell him you're ready to go to Canada.
Right.
All right. Today, my mom had done the interview with me to say this.
Yeah.
And then she just sat down with my dad. And then they just brought me in front. And my dad was like, oh, Edgar, what are you doing in your life now? You've worked for a couple of companies. Are you ready to leave the country? And I looked at my mom. And I looked at my dad. And I said, Daddy, I want to stay here. My mom was like,
should have been so heartbroken.
She was.
Where I follow talk.
Yes. And my younger brother just came out from the room like, Daddy, if he's not going, I want to go. And now my brother's in the UK.
Whoa.
So that pressure of Edgar, you chose not to go, so you have to make it by force.
By force.
So it's always there. And then I think that was what just led me to saying, you know what? I want to go back into the 9 to 5 life and do that.
Oh my days! It was such an amazing conversation. The humor. Oh my God! I kept laughing and laughing and laughing. How was you laugh when you have Edgar and Swore in the building with you? It was an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for watching till this time. I tell you, you are amazing, and that's why you're here. So if you haven't subscribed, please. Just subscribe and grow this platform. Okay, drop your comments and like our videos. Also share our videos with your loved ones. People should see what we're saying. What do you think? God bless you and have an amazing week ahead.